Hello and welcome back to the Donut Club podcast. My name is Aiden, and today I'm finally joined by all 5 co-hosts. Starting with down the list, we're going to start with Abe this time. Abe, how you doing?
Hello, how are you?
That's good to hear. Dylan.
Hi. Fantastic.
Evan.
Hello there.
Me. I'm above Hunter on the list. Hunter.
Hi.
And Tegan.
General Kenobi.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, we're gonna do
leaving.
this every
Bye.
week.
You are a bold one. Nah, I'm
All right,
good.
so this is the first episode where we've actually successfully had all of us. How does it feel, guys?
Oh, it's
Feels
great.
good to
It's
have
great.
everyone in the same, call.
It's a little crowded, though.
Everything.
It's a little crowded.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely
must
a little
say.
I
crowded.
can't wait to hear people talk over each other. I love that.
Oh,
I know.
Totally.
I wonder
totally.
who we're thinking of.
I bet it's gonna be Hunter.
I bet it's gonna be Tegan.
No, Hunter doesn't have it. So before we get into anything important, we want to take a quick second to acknowledge the fact by the time this episode is up, it's gonna be Father's Day. Now,
Happy
obviously-
Father's Day, guys.
yeah, we did a bit for the mothers, so we got to do a bit for the fathers. Thanks to all those dads out there that are doing it
Like
up,
me.
being good dudes. Yeah, like Evan. Just anybody who is a serviceable father and does fatherly duties, whether they be biological or not, and of course the ones that are called daddy for reasons we will not discuss.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Um,
I just have to say
when-
that.
I'm Tegan's
when,
dad.
No,
So,
that's Stefano.
we've-
You're my
we've
you're like my brother, stepbrother.
Evan's my
Yeah,
son.
That's so weird.
Happy Father's Day to
Hey,
Stefano,
did you just call
Evan's
Stefano
brother.
Daddy?
Yes,
What'd you
you
say?
can just call
Well,
him
that's
Stefano.
well, that's a
Evan's
funny
my son.
story because
Wow.
during the baseball season, Stefano would
daddy.
be like, "Tegan, from now on, you got to call me daddy," and I'm like, "Okay."
Who's your daddy?
And I-
All right, well that
Yeah.
is
All right.
Your
that's
daddy.
our
Happy
Father's
Father's
Day
Day.
note. Happy Father's
You're not my
Day.
dad.
All right, well,
Who's your daddy.
so we're gonna take a quick break and get into a little sponsorship read from our sponsor and host, Anchor. So we'll be right back in a minute. So today's topic is something interesting. As you could tell by the title, which is a fine addition to my collection. Not only were we referencing Star Wars again with that, but we are today talking about things we like to collect. Now, unfortunately, Hunter really doesn't have anything that he particularly collects, but he is still here. So, Hunter, what I want you to do is listen, and if a mind-blowing question comes to mind,
I
if
will
anything
deal
comes
with
to
this
mind,
fine edition myself.
if anything comes to mind when you are hearing us talk about our collections, like something that you just think is necessary to know, then feel free to ask, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
So that's
Who
the
you want me to
plan.
ask first?
Well, I mean, you don't have to ask anything. Right off the bat, you just kind of got to hear what we're saying, and then if something stands out to you that you want to know about,
Just continue the conversation by asking the question.
Kind of like interviewing.
essentially,
Okay.
yeah, kind of
You're
like that.
interviewing
So,
us for a new job.
yeah. So,
Not weird questions.
Abe, I understand that you wanted to get your little bit out of the way as early as possible. That way, just in case you get to leave
Yep.
early. So, let's start with your collection. What do you collect, Abe?
So I actually collect 2 things. One, I collect
Uh-huh.
pop figures, and the second, I collect swords.
Hmm. So, what exactly got you into collecting these things?
So the pop figures, honestly, I think my brother just bought one for me, and I loved it so much. And I had so much extra room in my room, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy pop figures, right? And just start collecting of my favorite characters, some different TV shows, movies, and video games. And soon enough, I had a very large collection, and yeah, they're just pretty nice souvenirs to have. Remind me of my good times.
And the swords, I understand. Well, I've seen you buy at least 2 at Comic-Con. Is that
Yep.
kind of just something that just happened?
Yeah, it just happened. Like I love swords because of all like the animes I watch and everything, and they're pretty sick. And I love all the like, different kind of designs the person puts into it, and it's just they're really nice. I like them.
Well, that's good. You have a very, very. I mean, obviously, right now, you're in a smaller apartment, so you really don't have like a big amount of space. I'm sure that as soon as you complete your move this summer, you're somehow gonna wind up with like a whole wall of swords.
So I've asked you a
possibly,
question.
Possibly, yeah.
Hey, I have a question. So which one's your favorite out of all the swords? Well, you said you collect pop figures and swords,
Yeah.
right? So like which pop figure is your favorite and which sword is your favorite?
Oh, jeez. My favorite.
So, what's your
pop-
favorite type of sword?
Okay,
No, that's
so-
not what I'm asking. Yeah, just
Yeah,
like your favorite in general.
So, my favorite pop figure would have to be either Dobby or I can't see the other one. Oh, or Ron on his horse chess piece.
Oh
Harry
yeah,
Potter.
I remember that. You have the wizard chest Ron.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
that
how
was
many
cool.
swords do you have exactly?
How many what?
Swords?
So I have one wooden dagger. I have one long wooden sword. I have a letter opener, and I
Yes,
have
you're welcome.
a katana. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you. I
So which
open
one's your
all my
I
favorite?
got
letters
Abe
with
the
that.
letter opener. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Which one's your favorite?
Pretty sick.
I would have to say the big red wooden sword. It was my first one I got at Comic-Con, and like it has like this kind of like dragon engraving on it, and it's pretty sick.
Is there any type of sword that you want to get in the future?
Oh yeah.
Like, what's your favorite type of sword? Like, I know, like maybe one that you don't have.
Oof. Probably a claymore. They look pretty
Obviously,
nice.
the
Pretty
bust-
good swords.
Not like the
Obvi-
explosive, right? What?
No,
no,
it's a
wait,
type
what?
of sword.
Yeah,
It's
the type
just
of
a
sword.
really big sword,
Oh, okay. Like a broadsword type of thing.
something like that.
Yeah, something
Okay.
like that.
I mean, obviously, if I was Abe, my life goal would to be get a usable Buster Sword from Final Fantasy because of how unrealistic it is. But so now, Abe, since Comic-Con is canceled this year, what are you gonna do about not being able to get a sword?
No, I'm glad you asked.
Buy one
that.
on Amazon.
I was actually thinking of buying a lightsaber instead. They're a little bit cheaper, and I know a lot of
Yeah.
people here are actually are getting some.
Yeah.
So it'll be a pretty cool thing
Yeah.
to bring.
Yeah,
to,
I
like,
bought my lightsaber
one of our
like 5
social
weeks
events
ago, and I
after COVID and
haven't
everything.
gotten it yet.
Yeah,
We
Well,
could
I already got
literally
mine.
could have a
Yeah,
lightsaber
yeah.
battle, like competition between all of us.
yeah. That's
So,
once this
Dude,
is all
I
over,
would
we should
so
just-
want to do that.
we should
I'm not
just
gonna
get
use.
into a big fight.
I'm
I
not
would
gonna use
so
the current.
win.
I'm not gonna use the current lightsaber I have because this one is not meant for lightsaber combat. But I'm definitely gonna get another one for sure.
I'd twirl at you guys, and then I'd stab 2 of you, and then you know.
Do the Sith.
Yeah.
You can't forget
Yeah.
the just like
Keegan,
violent
I'm just gonna
screeching.
exclusively go after
Huh?
you.
Yo, whoever has red lightsabers, we all need to
Keegan,
buy
I'm
like
gonna
metal
annihilate you.
contacts if we're gonna do this, and just like sit.
I'm
for
gonna get a Count Dooku one.
Speaking
Oh
speaking
yeah,
of-
Evan, you definitely
I
should.
want a bigger
Definitely.
one.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
my
well.
sword, my lightsaber is gonna be purple. Say that much.
Purple.
interesting
That's a good
choice of
color. That's a good color. Mace Windu.
I love
Was it
purple's
like
my
Mace
favorite color.
Windu's?
So
So what do we got? We got
Oh,
a
there you
purple. We got a blue lightsaber. I'm assuming Tegan's gonna get again.
So once you get
the
raised.
lightsaber.
Mine's
No,
red,
no.
Dylan's
The
red.
lightsaber color I'm gonna get is like an Arctic color.
You got
It's
a
not
red one.
white, but it's not blue. It's sort of
Oh,
like
yeah, it's
very,
like a
very
really
like.
blue.
So it's a
It's
cyan.
like a very, very
color.
white blue. That's
Cyan color. It's like a light
Yeah.
blue.
No, it's not cyan. It's just like
It's lighter than
blue,
that.
but saturated with a lot of white. It's got like a tiny.
So white with a hint of blue.
Yes.
So cyan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
all right,
not
cyan, whatever
cyan.
you want to call it.
No, it's not. No, it's not
Whatever.
cyan.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah, it
Who's
doesn't
next?
matter.
So, Abe, that was your collection, and I'm sure
And a
that
fine one it
someday-
was.
Yes,
Fine
very
addition
short, very
to my
sweet, but still a
collection.
good one.
Is that my cue?
Well, I mean, yeah, we should actually play that when we transition between each person. So now we're gonna move on to Dylan. I know you're probably the least prepared because you joined last, but let's talk about your collection items. I think you've probably got a couple.
Which collection
Every
do you want to
single
start with?
collection ever. Yes.
Really? Well, I mean, Aiden knows I collect a lot of
Yeah.
stuff, and he said it before. Anything that I find cool, I
You want to tell us
have.
about the thing that you bought
So,
recently at the
I mean,
Cape?
the fuck did I just buy recently?
Dude, I don't even remember what he bought in the Cape, and I was
That,
there.
that police
What?
car with the number 69 on it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's just because it said just because it said Cruiser 69.
How much
I had
was
to
it? Was it
buy
like $45 or something
pretty
like that?
Worth every penny.
It's gonna be tossed up on the shelf and collecting dust.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
45 Aiden. I noticed it first. Did you? I don't know. One of us did.
So aside from police cars, because I know you have a few of those.
Some of them are sitting up right now. I have cheap hoppers. Pretty.
Am I the only one who's not really hearing him because of connection
Yeah, me
issues?
neither.
Yeah.
but no, like
This
I remember
is how he
listening
sounds. This is how he sounds.
the other day,
G.
and whenever Aiden talks,
Is this how the podcast is
he's
going
listening
here?
to the same thing.
Yeah,
whenever
that's-
the podcast kind of like
Yep.
tone of
Yeah,
his.
Dylan, you were just you were just
Hey,
cracking
take it,
up.
take
that
it.
whole
What was
time.
it that you said? Your connection, your cheeks. That's what.
No, this is
Yeah.
straight AT&T.
That
Tegan.
happens.
Yes.
That where do I buy a
Yes,
lightsaber?
cheeks. No,
While we're-
I'm not
while
even
we're
on
waiting?
Wi-Fi. It's AT&T.
Saberforge
This is-
or Ultra Sabers is what I
Can
would
you-
recommend.
You hear me?
All right.
Can you hear me now?
See now
sort
the
of.
yeah. So aside from cop cars, Dylan, because I know you have a few of those. What would you say is another thing that you collect that you particularly find interesting?
Well, while my phone was having a stroke, I collect Zippo lighters too. I have a bunch of those.
What'd you buy recently?
Guns are also a second or third, I guess. Oh, when it comes to guns, I bought a
Things like the
Silver
zombie
Eagle
apocalypse
tactical
type of weapon right
122
there.
12 gauge, which is completely amazing. It was the greatest
Well, I
thing I've
heard if
ever
we ever
shot.
have a zombie
Aiden got to
apocalypse,
shoot it.
Dylan, it has enough ammo
thing is
to
ready
arm
for
a small
anything,
army
bro.
of people. to
The
fight
muzzle
zombies.
brake on it has. Oh,
At 21 years of
have
age.
8. I have 8
Well,
firearms
you're
and
police
over
officer,
1,000
you
rounds of
can,
ammunition.
you can buy as many guns as you want.
I am.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right,
bro,
you bought a
I'm not
musket
stopping
rifle.
there.
one.
Oh, Aiden, should we tell him about the black?
Oh, you haven't
powder
bought it yet?
rifle?
I thought you bought it already. I thought you told me you bought it.
I bought a black powder. I'm buying.
Dude,
a
that
black
thing's gonna
powder.
be a
yeah. You're
that-
supposed to do
considering
that
we're
today.
considering we've
I
already
know,
dropped
I
an
didn't
F
go up
bomb.
to
That thing is
Winsington
gonna
this
be
week.
a
I have to go up
bitch to
next week.
reload. Like I can't.
Yeah. It's gonna take so long.
Oh, I know.
You should just
Well,
make
I'm not
them.
Dude,
gonna
I
be shooting it too
can't
often
imagine
because
like
50
what the
50
target
cal
is gonna
balls
be
gonna
once
expensive
we
to buy
like
themselves. And
shoot it at
It's-
shoot the gun at the target.
It's gonna have bigger
Gonna be-
holes.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
They're gonna be this big.
Well, you know what's something that I'm surprised
Well,
wasn't
you
the
got a
first thing you
50
brought up, Dylan.
50 can't
was,
shoot it too often though.
I'm
Huh?
surprised you didn't mention anything about the Lego sets.
What?
Oh my goodness.
I have so many Legos, bro. I have a big problem. I have 7 right next to me.
For
that I
those
still
who,
need to
for
build.
those of us who
One
don't know
includes
what,
the
or for the
Tantive
viewers who
IV,
don't know what that
which
is,
I
what
bought on
ship is that?
eBay, Lego store, I think. The
Oh, is that
Tantive
the
IV
ship
is
you see in the
Princess
movie?
Leia's,
Yeah, it's the ship
control
from the
or
beginning of the
command
movie.
ship, and
Oh,
New Hope.
cool. Okay.
It's the. Hold on.
And
Yeah,
technically
it's
the end
the
of Rogue
Tantive
One.
IV was the ship that she was flying on in the
There's
beginning of New Hope.
those.
So what's
And the end of Rogue
what's your most
Yes.
like what's
Yep.
which Lego set would you say is your
And then I have a
favorite that
Star
like
Destroyer.
all time that you've ever built?
It's a
His phone's having a stroke again.
toss up between Jabba's barge.
Tegan, what
the,
website did you say to check?
The
Saber Forge and
Jawa,
Ultra Sabers.
Sandcrawler,
Which one again? Your
and-
phone had a stroke again.
Is it taller than his laptop?
Yes.
See, the best thing is that the recording is probably getting everything that
Can you
he's
hear me
saying,
better
and
now?
we're just
Yeah,
not
no.
hearing it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I might have to do
All
some
right.
cuts. I don't know.
Oh, we'll
Gonna
be
have to
fine.
do some cuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
All right, you should be
Can you
clear.
hear
You
me
should be
better
clear
now?
now. Yeah.
Favorite set?
Yeah.
Any better? Okay. All right. Let's try this one more time. I think it's a toss-up between
Ooh, the Black
Jawa,
Pearl.
Sand
That was a cool
Crawler,
one that
Jabba's
I saw in the
barge,
stories.
and
I
the Black Pearl.
I'm surprised that's not your favorite, because your favorite game is what was it, Black Flag?
Yep.
That was one of your favorite games, and it was like you really like pirate ships and stuff. So like,
That's from Pirates of the Caribbean to you.
no, I know it's like, but I'm saying like the Black Pearl is a pirate ship.
Oh, see.
Well, I mean, dude, I've looked up the Black Pearl now.
Yeah.
The connection's definitely a little slow.
Well, all of these Legos I just mentioned
We'll have time to get
And
get
have been
something.
discontinued.
Like, how long is this gonna last?
And I've looked up the
Yeah.
price of the Black.
You
Oh,
looked
wait,
up the
God.
price for what? What did you look up the price for?
The Black Pearl. Okay, he's better now.
Dude,
No, I
Dude,
swear, like,
See,
Dude,
I told
Black
you,
Pearl,
man.
like,
I
it's
told
better.
dude. I
No,
told you,
AT&T
Verizon is
sucks,
where it's at.
and my
bro.
Wi-Fi-
That's like,
Or Wi-Fi.
yes,
You know.
dude.
Anyway.
Yes.
so, like,
All
speaking of the
Spectrum.
Legos,
Verizon
and
is
get
no.
them
I'm
like
not
Big
getting
Fit.
Verizon either.
I myself am a huge Lego fan from like when it comes to some things, and like when I was younger, I went to the
Spectrum's not
Lego
really
store. I'd always
AT&T, are
just
they,
search
Abe?
the whole area or the whole store just to see what I could see and how expensive some of the sets were. So I respect that a
Two
lot.
as a kid.
Are you serious? No
Yeah,
way.
Black Pearl is going
Where?
for over
Yeah,
$1,000.
because they don't make them anymore.
On
They don't make them
eBay
anymore.
or
If
like
you look up, it's $500 to $1,000.
Pirates of the
Oh.
If you
Caribbean.
look up on,
It's Jack
Never
Sparrow
seen
ship
it.
from Pirates of the
Discontinued.
Caribbean.
yeah, anywhere.
What?
The black, it's the ship from
What?
Pirates of
You
the
know what?
Caribbean.
Next
Well,
episode
that's
we
a
need to
problem
make
we're gonna
is
have to solve
like
someday.
movies we have not seen that we need to see. So just like make a bucket list.
So
It's not
so
gonna be
Dylan,
a bucket. It's gonna be like a whole house full of just like things I need to see.
Yeah,
Huh.
Abe's gonna have like a
so
pond
Dylan,
list.
what else? You have a good pop figure collection too. Like you got a lot of.
I do have a lot of pops. I think one of my favorite pops has to be
And that's from
either
Fallout.
the Mole Miner
No,
that Aiden got
oh, that
me,
is okay.
or
Oh, I
um,
thought that was.
yeah, that's from
Death
76.
Trooper.
Yeah, that's from
Oh,
76.
yeah, I think I saw.
and then
that
I
one
and then I
before.
have a Death
I
Trooper,
think so. Yeah,
which is
it's a
pretty
Death
solid.
Trooper. Yeah, that's cool.
Shadow Trooper. No, Death Trooper. It's a
Nice.
Death Trooper. Yeah, I have a Death Trooper. Yeah, but I have a lot of Legos.
Understandable.
I could talk a lot about that.
I
but my
actually-
connection won't let me. So
Couple, I think this was actually like last year. I bought. So Tegan sent me this Lego thing. It's not actually Lego. It's like a different company called like Kobe or something like that. It's like COBI. It's like a different. No, it's COBI. So it's like a
Pretty much
different.
just knock
It's,
off.
it's
I
a
think it's
version of
KO.
Lego, but it's
No, it
not
is
Lego. So
COBI.
Tegan sent
Yeah.
me this link
Yeah.
to. So like this game called World of Warships is like sponsored. I bought the Bismarck. Yeah. So
Oh, the Bismarck. Didn't you buy the Bismarck?
This
Yeah,
thing
of course
took
you
this
did.
thing.
Yeah, I
this
remember
ship
that. I was
took me
pissed
at
because I
least
wanted one. I was pissed. I was like,
10 hours to make. Something around there. Maybe 12. Took me an entire day. There was so many pieces of that set, and I finally finished it. And it's actually on my dresser at home, so I can send you a picture of it. But they actually make a ton of other
Nice,
ships,
yeah.
like
I'm jealous because I wanted
aircraft carriers, the Yamato, the Missouri, stuff like that. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool, so I bought that. So anyway,
That is.
ooh, you have
one. I also have a First Order Star Destroyer I want to put together. That thing's pretty cool.
Do you
Yeah, I got a lot.
Well, Dylan, one of them I remember you said was like the last one the store had, right? That was Jabba's barge.
Oh, Jabba's barge. Yeah,
I
bought the
wasn't. I
last
wasn't sure if
Jabba's
it was
barge at
that
Toys R
or
Us,
one
yeah.
of the Millennium Falcons, because I'm pretty sure you have one of the new ones and one of the old ones.
I have one of the original Millennium Falcons. I have the original Slave One. I also have one of the original Sand Crawlers.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you if you had an
I have
Empire.
an OG
One of the,
Star
yeah, one of the
Destroyer.
older sets.
Yeah, I have an older Star Destroyer. I have a lot.
Oh,
I have a turbo
the
tank.
clone turbo
Yeah,
tank.
you remember when our
cool.
dad bought
There's
us a ATTE
Yep, I have a
and we
clone
built
turbo
it,
tank.
and then like a couple days later we destroyed it for parts.
I have an ATTE.
What
What the fuck, dude? I
All
have
of
an
which are
AT-AT, ATTE,
Wow,
ATL.
Dylan's got some work to
I have
do
so
over the
many.
summer. He's got some tests together. Oh, they are? Okay.
No, these ones are already built.
Oh wait, where do you
Yeah,
keep
all those
all the
ones are
ones
already
that are
built,
finished?
yeah.
Because I feel like I never see half of them. Okay, yeah.
They're at my grandparents'
makes
house.
sense.
They're in the garage for right now.
All right.
And I have a
Sure.
lot of Legos that aren't Star Wars
Those
related.
are
Keeping
the
it
coolest
in
ones,
theme.
though.
Yeah.
The Star Wars ones are the
They're,
coolest ones.
they really are.
Yeah.
I know. I've got a couple sets
Yeah.
in the last couple years.
Wow.
Anyway, Hunter, hit the tone again.
So that's my collections.
Oh my
All right,
God.
Evan, it is your turn. We're going down the list, and
All right.
you're next. So what is your collection?
So, my dad started this, but he started by collecting Star Wars action figures, and for as long as I've lived, I've always collected them, to continue it. And we have a pretty big collection of it. So, he's got figures from 1977. Like right when it came out. And a lot
the
of that
old-
stuff is worth a lot of money.
Figures go
You know
for
what I
a
mean?
lot of money now.
Yeah.
If they were still in the box.
If they're still in the box, obviously it'd be
Yeah.
a lot more. But
Even outside though nowadays,
even
like
outside,
the
still
old
get
Kenner
a good
Star
amount.
Wars toys are super expensive.
Yeah, we got an old Darth Vader action figure. We've got an old Yoda. You know what I mean? Even from like 1999 when the prequels came out.
We have those
Stuff from
ones
that too.
in our Star Wars figure box, Tegan. Somewhere.
Yeah, and old stormtroopers. And it's just all this cool stuff. And it's just cool to see because like through the history of all of it. Because now my sister even collects some of them. Like Rey and Kylo Ren is in there now. So yeah,
Are
it's
they?
pretty.
So, do you have like most of the characters from the sequel trilogy now that it's all set and finished?
No, because I'm not a big
Mhm.
fan of the sequel trilogy, it's not a collection that I really dive into too much anymore. But I did like last year. I got a couple new things. Like I got a Darth Maul action figure from 1999 from a novelty store. So
Was that the big
know,
one? Like the
yeah,
tall-
yeah, it's pretty big. It's like a foot tall. But
I gotta ask, are they like? Obviously, I know the older ones, like from when the original trilogy came out. I know that they're usually smaller, but like, the majority of these action figures, are they kind of like in this like little like almost 4-inch scale, sort of, or are they like? Because I know that they do have a 6-inch line of figures.
Oh no, this one's from 1999. This is different.
Yes. Oh.
So yeah, it's just a cool little hobby, because if you go back through them, you can see like all the different time periods of Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like ranging from
figures, like the evolution of the figures too.
yeah, and how much more detailed they got too. You know, it's
Like
really
the more
cool to
moving,
look at.
more moving parts. Like I think those figures, the 1977 figures, you can only move like the shoulders, like the arms from the shoulders and the legs from the hips. Now
Yep.
you can move like their knees, their ankles, like their hands,
4
their
points
head.
of articulation.
Yeah, you can move everything. So
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so it's really cool to see that, and and like if you go into the collection, you can just see like you can pick one out. Oh, there's Padme Amidala, or oh, there's an Imperial Guard, it's just cool.
Do you collect anything else?
So, no, nothing of big notice.
Well,
Um,
it does sound like, though, based off of what I'm hearing, it almost sounds like you might be the next the next domino in the line with the lightsaber trend that is going on now.
Yes, I actually do. I have a couple lightsabers. I wouldn't really call it a collection, you know. It's not really a collection. It's more like, maybe one day.
Oh yeah,
But,
because I know
they are
that
expensive.
that's yes, they do get very expensive. That's
Yeah,
one
mine
thing
was
that
like
I'm worried about.
$200 something.
Especially
I
nowadays
bought
when
it
you're
for like $30 and like less. So because of
Oh yeah,
discount codes.
Yeah.
My we also have a huge collection of army men, but
Huge.
Army men.
yeah,
Like
Are they
the-
the,
like
are
the-
the green ones on like the little stand things?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
little
you know,
the
from,
little
like, Toy
plastic
Story.
ones.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
I have a
like that.
tank. I think I have a tank that would go with a set of army men that my grandfather gave to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I keep it on my desk at school. Well, obviously not right now because school's out, but so
Yeah, that actually probably would fit with that.
yeah, I have it somewhere. It's in Belmont. He could probably go find it if he really wanted to. But anyway,
Yeah, I believe that means it.
Figures will make a fine addition to my collection.
All right, so I guess next down in the list technically is me. So, honestly, I don't know where to really start. I've got a couple things. I guess where I'd start personally, I guess I'm kind of in a similar vein to what Evan was talking about with action figures. For the last almost 10 years of my life, I have amassed quite a few action figures. It all started way back in like 2011 maybe, where I got like really into pro wrestling again. Because like there was like this phase when I was younger where it was pretty cool because I played like one of the video games, and then after around then I got really into it, so I bought a bunch of like WWE action figures, and they just seemed like the coolest thing because like some of them they had a lot of articulation. I was really into wrestling at the time, but as time went on, I started to pay less and less attention to it, and I stopped buying those, and I started buying more like comic book type stuff because I'd started getting back into that, and that became my primary thing since was less wrestling and more of just the usual like nerd culture stuff. And it's funny, it all started with a couple Hasbro Marvel Legends toys from like Captain America Winter Soldier and Amazing Spider-Man figure, and now I have two whole shelves with like two Captain Americas, two Iron Mans, two Wolverines. I've got most of the main Avengers characters, I think, on one shelf now. I think I've got two of the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I think honestly the highlight of those though for me is definitely the Netflix figures, because let's be real, the Netflix Marvel stuff is pretty much gone. From there, I have a couple of the Mattel DC figures. I don't really know what the line was called. I can't remember. But I got a couple figures from Batman versus Superman. Unfortunately, 3 of them are Batman. So, but I missed out on like Wonder Woman and some of the others. Then I've got a bunch of like figures from DC Collectibles, or what used to be, and I guess is going to be called DC Direct again. Most of those are just like a couple of them are I've got a Nightwing and Batman from a line that's like their artist series, which is based off of pretty much the entire New 52 run, that artist's art style, and then just a DC Collectibles Tim Drake Red Robin. And then above them, I've got some that are a couple like Batman Arkham ones. So like I've got Batman, Red Hood, Nightwing, and Robin from Arkham Knight, a Batman. Technically, I got a 4-pack from Arkham Origins, but I only keep the Batman and Deathstroke on my shelf because the Joker and Black Mask, unfortunately, are fragile and don't like to stand up straight, and I don't have enough stands to do that. And then I've got like some Arrowverse figures, like 2 Green Arrows, I think, Flash and Arsenal. Although the highlight of all the DC figures is for sure is I got one from NECA, and the cool thing about NECA is that they make pretty good looking figures for cheap. So I have a Heath Ledger Joker that literally looks spot on. Like when you think of like, you know, accuracy and appearance with figurines, usually it's like Hot Toys and they're expensive as hell. Hunter knows this because he saw the price tag for their upcoming Commander Cody figure and was mind boggled that it would be $300.
$300 for a 4-inch figure or something.
Oh no, it's not. No, it's not 4-inch. It's like this tall. It's like a.
Oh, is it really?
I
I thought
think,
it was like a 4-inch like standard
no,
size.
Hot
Star
Toys are
figure.
like quarter scale, I think. So it'd be like 3/4 the way up your shin.
Okay, makes more
But
sense.
yeah, so I've got that Joker, and it's pretty much the highlight of that shelf. Above those, I do have Hasbro Star Wars Black Series figures, which I really like, just because like they cover pretty much every aspect of Star Wars with this line. They have figures based on now pretty much every era of the movies, and they have figures based on the characters from Star Wars Rebels. I think they've released a Clone Wars version of Ahsoka as like a convention exclusive that has literally never been seen again. But they do have like Captain Rex, and they make like movie versions of them, essentially like the animated characters. So like if you take off Rex's helmet, he has like a face that looks like Tamura Morrison, despite the fact that he never actually played Rex. But like out of those, I only have I have a couple sequel figures. I have the Last Jedi version of Luke, Rey, and Kylo Ren. The Force Awakens version of Kylo and Finn. I think the highlight though of that shelf is that I have the Revenge of the Sith, Anakin and Obi-Wan, which are surprisingly for a little while were hard to come by. And then I've got a Darth Vader behind them, and then the finest addition to that collection is General Grievous. And I think topping all of those out is that what I call like my import shelf, because it's all mainly SH Figure Arts, and like imports are pretty much usually like Japanese figure companies. They're always highly articulated for posing and whatnot. And up there, I've got the Injustice Gods Among Us Superman, because they made 4 figures for that game. I want to say it was Superman, Batman, Joker, and Harley Quinn. I've got the re-release versions of Super Saiyan Vegeta and Future Trunks. An updated version of Vegeta they did. The Super Saiyan Awakening Goku. A knockoff of the original Saiyan Saga Vegeta, which I didn't think was going to be a knockoff, but you know, eBay. It still works out though because it doesn't look bad. Although I did get ripped on eBay buying another Goku, but I also have a Figma Deku from My Hero Academia, so that's like my main.
Did you get most of these characters from like Amazon, eBay sort of thing, or did you get any from Comic-Con or something in the past couple of years?
So most of them I got from like actually going to stores. I either went to a store and got them or found them online. So like most of the Marvel Legends I got like at Walmart or Target or something. I think one of them, I know that I bought the Infinity War Thor on eBay as well as one of my Wolverines. I got the Joker that Heath Ledger Joker at Toys R Us. I want to say I got Darth Vader on eBay as well. Out of all the Star Wars ones, the imports are a bit harder to get, like in any way other than online. Except the Superman one, I did get that at Rhode Island Comic Con the last year I went, which I think was like 3 years ago now, 3.5 years ago. But those are like the main ones. I also do have a bunch of I do have a couple Lego sets that I've been putting together over the last couple years, and by that I mean like the last literal 2 years, because that's when I got them. Like I have Obi-Wan's, I have Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Yoda starfighters, and the like birth of Darth Vader scene, which is pretty cool because it comes with like a singed Anakin and Darth Vader. And I guess the most recently, I've got a bunch of like the 3 3/4 inch clone troopers, and I've kind of been getting more into that because like I had a couple that survived since childhood, and now like I've expanded the collection, and like recently, like within the last month and a half, I've managed to buy a bunch. I got a Captain Rex, which is like a must-have. I got a Revenge of the Sith Commander Cody, one of the 212th paratroopers. I got Commander Bakara, which is pretty cool, and just a couple other troopers here and there. And the most recent one I got with that was I bought what technically was like a Target exclusive 2-pack with a comic that featured our boy Palpatine. And for some reason, the seller included 2 Palpatines, so I technically got 3 figures out of it. And it was Palpatine and Clone Commander Vil, who is from the Legends comics. So that's pretty much that. And I guess now I could say that I'm getting into a sort of prop collecting thing. Because like I do have a foam replica of Jon Snow's sword from Game of Thrones. Oh, that reminds me, Game of Thrones, I do have 2 Jon Snow figures as well, and like a couple Mega Bloks things. But yeah, like prop collecting is kind of my thing now. Like I have a 3D printed replica of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. It's more of like a wearable prop, but I got like an arc reactor for Comic-Con last year that wound up coming in late. But it's got a wicked bright LED, which I practically just blinded the boys with. And my most recent technical acquisition, because I just finished it as like a project, was upgrading a like $10 Kylo Ren lightsaber that came out when The Force Awakens came out. And I've been working on that for like a month now, and it's finally looking about what I want it to be. It went from looking like a cheap piece of plastic to looking as close to the actual prop as I could get, and I think it looks pretty close, for a piece of plastic. But I think the biggest collection thing now, because I'm trying to move away from the action figures because it just gets too expensive. They're like $20, $25 for a 6-inch toy. So I have started this downfall now. Is I wanted to start collecting lightsabers, and I bought one on May the 4th, and it has started a domino effect because I bought mine, which convinced Tegan to buy his Disney Parks Skywalker saber based on the one Rey uses in The Last Jedi. And when he got that, Hunter got super excited and decided he wanted one. So he bought one from the same site that I did, and like a week and a half after that, Dylan bought one. And now Tegan's thinking about buying another one just because his isn't
Evan's probably going to buy
dual
one.
ready.
I'm looking
And now
at it. Yeah.
now Evan's looking at them. I've started a massive domino effect.
Yeah,
Abe's
you
thinking
can buy
about
one.
getting them. So
I've
I'm
been
glad
sort of
that I
looking
could.
at lightsabers while you've been chatting up here.
I don't doubt that. I'm glad that I could have started
Yeah,
that
so what's
domino
funny
effect
is though,
because
wait, Dylan, you ordered yours from Ultra Sabers, right?
yeah,
Yep.
Dylan ordered his.
He ordered his a week after mine, and I ordered
he-
mine a week after yours.
Yep,
Yeah.
I got mine
Dylan got his
relatively quick.
first, and I still
Dylan-
haven't got mine.
Dylan.
He probably
So
hasn't got mine yet.
their lead time right now is like 3 to 4 weeks.
That's
Dylan
right.
didn't even make it to 2 whole weeks before his shipped.
Stupid.
And he
He's
got
so mad
his
about that.
literally like within 2 weeks.
And I got mine with the blade that they said they were running out of.
Yeah. Hunter and I have not gotten ours still, so that's an L. But at least the good thing about it is that we pretty much know, yeah, we're gonna get them. It's just I guess the
What is my
company.
customer service email saying like
Yeah,
changing
the,
the
the
address?
cus-
So I got that right.
yeah. Hunter did have an address issue, but even still, um, I think honestly they have a bunch of orders. Their customer service has been pretty lacking lately. But overall, I mean, we at least know we're gonna get them, so that's something to look forward
Where'd
to.
you order yours
But,
from again?
Sabres?
so yeah, we
I
ordered
can order
ours from
them.
Ultra
They're pretty
Sabers.
booked with orders. So if you want an actual like
Well, the
fast
See,
order,
Ultra Sabers. I don't know if I should order
well,
it then.
so
'Cause if you guys are still waiting, that's pretty
Yeah.
pathetic.
well, so the thing about this hobby is that patience is
It
very
takes money?
important. Well, yeah, every hobby takes money, but patience is very important because
No, but
something
that's crazy.
obviously.
You guys have been waiting that long.
Well, so other companies like Saberforge, one that Tegan's looking at the Fallen Order lightsaber from,
That one
and
looks sick, by the way. I really.
the thing
That's
with
gonna be
them,
my dueling
the
saber.
thing with most saber companies is that you're likely to order your saber, and then a lot of them you might not hear from them until it ships. And Saberforge usually, because they like, I'm pretty sure they just usually they don't have them on stock always. So like they have to they machine all their sabers. I mean, most saber companies do, but depending on what it takes to put into it and stuff like that, like if you order like the highest tier saber from them, it's probably not going to ship for like 6 months. But at least you know that, going into it, like you're probably not going to hear anything about shipping for like 4 to 6 months from a lot of companies. But like I said, patience is one of the biggest keys with this hobby, and I'm trying my best. But with that, that's pretty much the end of, I guess, my collection. So Hunter, we'll hit that tone one last time.
This will make a fine addition to my collection.
And with that, we move to Tegan, who is the final member to discuss their collections.
So, well, I guess I'll start with the Star Wars figures, because especially when we were little, we would always ask for Star Wars figures for Christmas. And actually, I'm gonna level with Evan here and say that we also have those same figures. My dad and uncle also collected those same Star Wars figures from like the 1970s and 80s and all that kind of stuff. We had that Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, and Luke Skywalker for some reason had a yellow lightsaber. I don't know why. We had old Ben Kenobi, and I don't know if we had Yoda. Maybe we did. I'm pretty sure we had Yoda as well. My dad had like all of them. And we beat the crap out of them too, so they're not really worth anything anymore because we'd always play with them. And this is during the time where the Clone Wars first came out, like in 2008. So they were coming out with a lot of Clone Wars figures, and Hunter and I would always ask for the clone troopers, and we'd always get a little upset if we got like battle droids or whatever, because we like the clones, and we'd always set the clones and droids on either side of a table or something and make them do like battle or whatever. And we amassed a good amount of Star Wars figures. And one year our dad bought us like an AT-AT, like a turbo tank. He bought us like a plastic turbo tank. He bought us like AT-AT, an X-Wing fighter.
eBay.
Yes, he bought us a lot of like vehicles to put the characters in, and it was really fun to incorporate those vehicles too. Like I guess I have been collecting some pops as well. I mean, who doesn't have at least one pop? They're really cool. I have a Batman one. I have a Spider-Man one. I have a Captain America one. What else? That was it. I don't know. I don't have many pops, but I have been buying them. Actually, I bought one recently. While I was down in the Cape with Dylan and Aiden. We went on a trip last week.
You bought a
And-
pop?
Yeah, I bought a Stan Lee pop.
How did you not know you were there?
That's right. That's where
Yeah,
I
and
bought
it's a statue version of him. It's like a rustic statue of Stan Lee. It was a really cool pop, and I was, they originally kind of expensive when they came out, but I saw it in the store and I'm like, I need it. I need the Stan Lee pop because Stan Lee was one of my favorite people in the film or the, I guess, comic industry because he wrote Spider-Man and all that kind of stuff. He's purely an inspiration and just really amazing person. Very sad that he passed away a few years ago now, I believe.
A few years ago.
Take
Wait,
it.
was
I
it
thought it was last year.
last year, something like that? Yeah,
Yeah.
last year. So yeah, and about back to the lightsaber thing. I mean, I'm not gonna make it. I don't really want it to be like a problem because lightsabers, like at least good lightsabers, are really expensive. Like the Fallen Order lightsaber I'm looking at on Saberforge is gonna run me almost $300. So those are definitely quite expensive. The one I have right now is the Graflex lightsaber. It was the first ever Star Wars lightsaber. This is obviously not it's only a replica. It's not a screen used version. I bought it off the Disney Parks website. It's not 100% accurate to the original saber, but it still serves its purpose. It's definitely, when I get my when Saber Forge finally comes out with that Fallen Order saber, this Graflex is gonna be just a shelf piece. It's just gonna sit on a shelf or a desk or something like that, just so I can look at it. Sadly, the blade that came with it is not. You can't duel with it. You can't battle. You can't do battle with it because the blade's just not built for that. It's not made of the right type of plastic. And it definitely already has some scuff marks. As I did bring, I was asked by Aiden to bring my lightsaber to the Cape, and Dylan brought his lightsaber as well. And he sort of screwed around, and yeah, I scuffed the blade up a little bit. So, yeah.
Yeah, you did. You fucked that thing up.
Yeah, Aiden like friggin' took your lightsaber and flipped it at me, and I blocked it, and I'm like, oh my god.
It's
Yeah, that was
amazing how
fun
many
though.
times you guys hit the frickin' banisters in the living room, especially
Yeah.
you.
It's definitely it. Also, this thing isn't very bright too when I turn it on, and what's cool about it is, when you put it doesn't turn on unless you put the blade in. Like the blade has all of the like the LEDs and all that kind of stuff, so it doesn't turn on when I turn it on and when the blade's not in. And it's not very bright like Dylan's is. Dylan has like a special LED that's in the hilt in
Yeah,
which you can turn it on.
the tri-red blazing color, whatever
Yeah.
its formal name was.
Yeah, it's super bright. And what's sad about the Disney Parks exclusive one, it's definitely, to my knowledge, it's sold out right now. This thing was originally, I think, $170 plus shipping if you didn't get a discount or anything or free shipping. So I got this for $150. It came with a lot of cool stuff. It came with a blade. It came with a lightsaber stand, a wall mount, a blade plug. And yeah, it was just a cool saber all around. I was really excited when I opened it out of the box, but it's definitely unfortunate that I can't battle with it, which is why I'm gonna get another one, so I can battle Dylan, Evan once he gets his, and I hope you get the Saberforge Count Dooku one because that one is definitely amazing, even though it's kind of expensive.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
And Aiden
Yeah, I
and
was
Hunter
saying
when
it's
they
sold
both
out.
get
I
their
actually,
lightsabers and stuff. So
I actually found. I'm not gonna lie. I think as soon as this one comes in, I might order one of the Eco Sabers from Saberforge. Just
Dude,
because.
I'm gonna keep nagging on you until you get the Qui-Gon lightsaber because you have that like
I
kids
mean,
one from
you
like
can. Yeah, you can do that.
1999.
Eventually, my collection will expand. I'm just trying to figure out because like I found one because like they don't have the one that I want in stock, but like they don't have the one that I specifically want in stock. So I looked at a couple of the other ones and I found one that looks really cool, but I wanted to get it with like one of those like amber yellow blades, and naturally they don't don't have DVDs in stock, so I kind of.
I think the Ray version, the episode 9 Ray new lightsaber, has the yellow
Well,
blade.
so
I'm not totally sure.
you can choose whatever color you want. That's the thing.
Yeah, and the thing that's cool about the Cal Kestis one, the Fallen Order saber, is that you can customize the saber in the game. So it's not like I'm feeling too bad about getting it, because I don't want like all my lightsabers to have blue. So like that's why I'm going for like the Arctic kind of whitish with a blue tint, sort of, because I think it will look cool. You know,
Yeah.
so
So
I can't think of really anything else that I collect, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, that's good. At any rate, that means that we're pretty much looking at our closing thoughts now.
Yeet.
So we obviously all collect things and plan on expanding those collections. So, happy collecting, boys. Hopefully you can make many fine additions, just like General Grievous. And with that, does anyone else have any final thoughts before we close out?
Collecting is fun, but it's also very expensive.
That is true.
Yes, very expensive.
That is true. It can be. Well, all right.
Thank you, Tegan.
You're welcome. Don't break the bank if you want to collect some stuff. Don't break the bank.
Yeah. Don't spend like
Don't
$300
buy a
on
new
something.
gun
Wait,
every week.
You only
Save your
live
money,
once,
stay in
so
school.
shouldn't you break the bank?
Well, true, but you also,
Well-
you need to like support yourself too. You can't just
Yeah, you
spend
gotta
all your
make sure
money.
you can still pay rent or your bills and stuff like that.
So if
I
you have
mean-
no bills to pay, it's your
Yeah.
money. It's whatever.
I mean, hey,
Go for it.
if you're listening to this and you're in high school and you live at home and your parents pay for all your bills, but you still have a job and make money, buy whatever the hell you want.
I mean, I'm not saying don't buy expensive stuff. I'm just advising against it. At
smart
least
about
until
it.
you be smart about it. Yes, definitely save up quite a bit before buying.
Most of the people in this
Expensive stuff.
podcast are not smart about it.
No, absolutely. I'm actually stupid with my money.
Tegan.
Yes, that's exactly what I said.
So anyway-
very stupid with my money.
With that being said, I think that is very important to think of. Always remember, just make sure you can afford other things. If you have bills to pay, don't be buying,
Yeah, and
fully
if you have the
loaded out
exact
$500 lightsabers.
amount in your bank account, and you're like, oh, I can afford it. You really can't, because you'll have $0.
Yeah,
after you buy it.
focus on the essentials before you're focusing on lightsabers or action figures or anything else. With that being said, we've pretty much come to the end of our podcast. Now, we do have quite a bit of things, just like last week. So obviously, we thank you all for listening, however many of you are. Please share the podcast on pretty much any social media you can. Tell your friends and family. See if you can get them to check us out. We greatly appreciate the support. We are found on apparently quite a few places these days. Obviously, the host platform where we fully edit and upload the podcast, Anchor, as well as some larger sites or apps, I guess you could call them, where you're more likely to find us, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts, as well as others. We do have an official Facebook and Twitter page, so make sure you go follow those for weekly updates. We will share the episodes there, links to them, that way you can find them a little easier. And we probably plan on using those to interact a little more. We do have a completely optional listener support system where you can sign up for a monthly donation subscription that would help sustain and improve the podcast. Now, again, this is completely optional. Like, we're not going to ask you for your money. But hey,
If you would,
feeling
that'd be
generous,
nice.
yeah, if you're feeling generous, that'd be cool. We do have free options, such as our community Discord server, where we actually record the podcast. We want to use that to have a space for listeners as well as us to hang out, so you can talk to us as well as talk to each other. You drop suggestions on topics if you want, and pretty much just tell us how we can improve the podcast. We do have an invite link in the description of every episode, as well as probably being posted on places like the Facebook page. Now, there is one last way to get in touch with us. If you have any questions, concerns, or suggestions, you can send it our way via email at thedonutclubpodcast@gmail.com. No spaces between the Donut
L.
Club Podcast,
L.
all lowercase. Heck, you could send us hate mail if you want. Doesn't really matter.
Please don't. That'd be
But
hurtful.
we'd
Specifically
prefer
to
you
Aiden.
don't. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Please
Say
direct it
Aiden.
towards
Say
me.
Aiden's the worst.
Yeah.
No,
just-
don't
Anyway,
say that.
just
I'm
'cause
kidding.
he
I'm
said
kidding.
Just 'cause he
Yeah,
said
don't-
that.
none of us deserve hate.
Obviously, our upload schedule, you're going to see new episodes for the most part every Sunday, as long as there's no delays. As long as there's no delays or anything that gets in the way, we're going to get a new episode up every Sunday. We usually upload them really early in the morning. That way, you could just wake up to hear our lovely voices. And with all that being said, we'll see you in the next episode, and goodbye.
Goodbye.